What is up, my friend? It's Antwan Towner here, motivational magician. I was just listening to Gary Vee. I'm sitting here in my office getting pumped. I've been going through a lot of things lately, and I've been trying to stay motivated, inspired, and follow my 1 mile approach, which is motivation, inspiration, love, and encouragement. A lot of times when we get stuck in life, we have to remember what motivates us, what inspires us. Do I feel loved? Am I encouraged? Or am I motivating someone else? Am I inspiring someone else? Am I loving someone else the way they feel loved? Am I encouraging someone else today? This is my 1 mile approach. It's something that I follow for my life to try to make it best as I can. Nothing is ever going to be perfect in this world, and nothing is ever going to be. So stop thinking that it's ever going to be perfect. Nothing's ever perfect. This recording isn't perfect. When I was younger, I was always focused on trying to do better and get to the level of perfection. But today, I want to do the best I can with what I have. A lot of times, if you just simply do what you can with what you've got, you're going to have a much better life in just a very short period of time. I was just scrolling through my Instagram feed, and I was thinking to myself as I was watching some motivational stuff and looking up people that I like to follow, Gary Vee, Les Brown, Zig Ziglar, all these motivational guys that get me mentally prepared for the day. Grant Cardone's one of them. And I was reminded of what Gary Vee said when he said, put out 7 good quality content pieces a day. If you just simply do that, your life will change if you're an entrepreneur. I certainly believe that if you do add that principle into what you're already doing for your marketing and advertising for your business, it definitely will help you. One of the memes that I scrolled across on Instagram said, a year from now, where will you be? It made me think, a year from now, where will you be? Where do you want to be? I started thinking back when I started watching The Secret and reading that book by Rhonda Byrne and understanding the law of attraction and how it works. That coupled with making great decisions and taking massive action towards your goals, life can change. So I started copy and pasting some messages to people that don't know who I am, who have never heard of me, and I don't even expect them to respond. But I sent out a bunch of those and I started copying and pasting certain positive messages on like-minded individuals' pages on pictures that I liked, as well as genuinely commenting on pictures that I really enjoyed, motivational things, and little pieces and memes that I've seen on motivational speakers' pages. And as I started doing that, I noticed that there was a ton of people starting to add me as their friend and follow me on my Instagram page. I immediately thought that I need to clean up my page real quick and change my bio a little bit to kind of explain a little bit who I am, more specifically. The funny thing is, within just about 15 minutes, I had 25 brand new followers. And I started thinking, wow, what a difference a few minutes of intention can make. If I keep this up, man, in a year from now, I'll have 100,000 followers. And then I got excited and I started recording this. You see, the big difference between people that are going to be successful and people that are going to fail in life, the ones that take action, massive action, immediate action, without worrying about being perfect all the time. Those are the people that are going to achieve massive results and are going to be able to teach you and show you how to get results for yourself. So what type of person do you want to be today? What type of person do you want to be a month from now, a year from now? Do you want to be the teacher or do you still want to be the student? What actions are going to be sparked within you today or maybe even tomorrow that's going to make you take a step towards your future? What are you going to do to change the outlook of your business a year from now, starting today? What will you do? You see, I don't think the universe or God favors the people that sit around and wait. I think the universe or God or whatever you believe in favors the people that have faith in what they believe and what they want to move towards, as well as take action towards those goals and dreams. Nothing happens unless you first take a step. Sometimes that's just a mental step. Sometimes it's a spiritual step. Sometimes it's a physical step in the right direction. Sometimes it's moving money in a direction that you need to move it into and out of an area that you don't need to be spending in. Sometimes it's a step away from people who aren't contributing to your life. And it's a step into the company of good people. Sometimes it's listening to an audio like this or even reading a good book. What will you do today that's going to move you towards your future so that you can start to see a clear vision of what's going to happen in your life a month from now or a year from now? What will your life be like a year from today? I can guarantee you this. If you don't take a step today, nothing will change. When I think about motivation, I think about when I used to smoke cigarettes. I listened to Tony Robbins do a speech on what holds up your table of belief, and it changed my life pretty much in an instant. I changed the way that I looked at smoking cigarettes. And mind you, I used to smoke over a pack a day. I used to love it. And I decided that I wanted to change that belief. My belief system changed when I started changing what was motivating me to smoke and what was motivating me to keep smoking. When I changed the belief from this helps me with my stress to I want to be around for my kids, immediately everything changed. Now, mind you, I don't have any kids, but when I thought about it that way, it made it very clear what was motivating me at that moment. What's motivating you? And what are you doing to motivate those around you? Is there a positive force? Or does that need to be amplified? It's a good question worth answering. What inspires you in this world? What is it that gets you up in the morning and gets your day going? When you think about having a great day or when you had a great day in the past, what is it about that inspired you to look at it that way? What is it that put you in spirit for that moment? It's a good question to ask. Without motivation and inspiration, it's very hard to take a step. So ask yourself these questions and get started right now. Oftentimes, when we get too caught up in spending time worrying about our past and our history, we get caught up in childhood trauma. And usually what that does is it prevents us from thinking that our dreams and our goals and our success is possible. What I invite you to do is try not to get caught up in the past or the history or anything that might be holding you back when it comes to your past being concerned with your future. Honestly, look at your future as a bright light, something that you're moving towards, something that's possible, something that's real, something that you're actually going to attain, no matter what your history is, no matter what may have happened to you in your past. Your past does not have to determine your future. I believe Les Brown talks about that in many of his speeches. And you know what, my friend? It's true. When I was growing up, part of my life I was in a foster home, the other part I was in a crack house. My mother was never there, and my father didn't want me. And for so many years, I let that affect me and the way that I looked at success being a real possibility. Because I looked at that in a way that made me feel unnurtured and unloved, I thought it would be an impossibility that I could nurture and love other people through my voice, my writings, my books, my actions, my performance. And you know what? It's simply not true. When I started looking at my future as a real possibility and I started moving towards it no matter what, as if it was inevitable, I started traveling around the world and performing on stages that you would never believe possible. I made my dream come true, not just because I believed it, but I didn't let my history stop me from moving forward. I didn't let my past determine my future. I didn't let my family history decide whether or not my future was going to be a possibility. I changed what motivated me and I looked towards what inspired me. And some of that was the people around me and the decisions that I decided to make. And you can make those same decisions starting now. If you want to, you can decide today that your history is not going to plague your future and your success is now inevitable. Oftentimes, people of our past, whether it be family or ex-relationships, they do love us, but it's the way that they love. It's not always the way that we feel loved. And a lot of times we have to keep that in mind. And we have to leave that pain in the past of not feeling loved. And we have to learn to let go of letting it affect us. If you can let go of that pain, my friend, you are on your way to a bright and successful future. It's not just the ability to let go of the past, but to heal from it and to learn to feel loved and also to be able to explain that to the new people that are around you. Remember, most people are not mind readers, and it's okay to teach them how to love you. Also, when I was getting out of high school and I was finding my way in this world, it took me a little bit longer than most people, is how it felt to me. It took me longer because I wasn't exactly encouraged the way that I thought I should have been encouraged. I wasn't encouraged the way that I felt encouraged. And what this eventually led to was a little bit of depression. And eventually that little bit of depression snowballed into a big piece of depression. And it stayed with me for a very long time. It wasn't until I learned to be encouraged from the inside out instead of seeking it from the outside in that this started to change. After many years of this, I learned that for me, if I can go on a walk every day, do some yoga, have some lavender tea, listen to some meditative music, meditate, relax, get enough rest, and plenty of water, I can pretty much motivate myself and encourage myself from the inside out anytime, anywhere. I search for solutions that would get me out of that state of mind and get me in a constant state of encouragement. Listening to motivational tapes was one of the best things I could have ever done, and it's one of the things that I love doing today simply because of the way it made me feel. I always wish that I could help someone else feel the same way. It's easy to listen to a recording, but not so easy to talk to someone and confide in them and trust them. So, listening to encouraging speakers was always more helpful. So ask yourself today, are you being encouraged from the inside out or the outside in? And what is it that encourages you? Another reason I bring up this point is when we get into a paused state of mind or a depressing state of mind, or even just a state of stagnant thinking where we feel like we've plateaued or nothing's really moving, one of the best things to do to get out of that and to jolt yourself back into a better place is to encourage other people. You never know what your smile or pat on the back can do for another person. So do it as often as you can. It feels good and it makes their day better. What else can you do to encourage someone around you? Cultivate ways that you can think of that can encourage other people around you. You never know when they need it, and it really does feel good when you make someone's life better because you were there. You never know what someone else is going through. You might just change someone's life while getting your own in the right direction. Hey, I'm Antwan Towner, and thank you for listening to my basic steps to the 1 mile approach. And if you haven't picked it up already, the 1 mile approach is motivation, inspiration, love, and encouragement. I'm wishing you the best life, my friend. And if you got any value out of this, please share it with your friends. Like and subscribe. It really does help a lot, and it really gets the word out. Your best life starts now. Take a step today.